Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Fresh Off the Pod, episode 5. How's everybody doing this week?
Good.
It's a short week.
It's been a short week, or it is a short week?
For work.
For work? Are you not working tomorrow?
No.
Today is Wednesday. So today is Wednesday, which means tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I am working. I have to work here tomorrow.
Hello.
But he's only working for 3 hours.
You're only working for 3 hours?
3 hours.
So not cool. Man, working in the media, working for a radio station, one of the there's so many good sides. One of the sides of holidays is that we have to work holidays. There's no off day as a media. So I'll be here tomorrow working while are you guys going to be sleeping in tomorrow?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Daryl, what time are you going to work tomorrow?
I think I'll be in at 2 and be out by like 5:30.
Oh, that's so nice. You get to sleep in and
I would rather go in at like 9 in the morning and leave at 12.
9
and have the rest of the day off.
Instead of thinking like, man, I got to go into work like after lunch or something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel so bad if everybody else in my office was working too, but it's just me. And it's Thursday and Friday. I really do not get a holiday.
Oh, that's true. Ginny, what are you doing tomorrow? You got any plans?
I have lunch with my family and then meeting some friends afterwards. And then shopping.
I think that's how it goes for like me too. When I was younger, when I was single, it was lunch with the parents and then rest with the friends. We go out and just hang out.
Watch football.
Watch football. Football definitely with the friends. I don't remember watching football with the family so much because I think I was always out watching football with friends. But so what are you doing tomorrow, Angela, with your family?
I don't know. Well, I know that like my mom is planning on cooking Thanksgiving lunch. Probably we usually do lunch, so I don't see why it would change tomorrow.
Hold up, I got a question. There are 3 daughters, right? You and 2 sisters.
Yep.
Yes, and you just said your mom will be cooking.
Because I will be sleeping.
Yeah.
And your sisters will be sleeping.
Well, Sylvia will be sleeping. Janice will probably be up helping my mom.
So your mom has 3 daughters, and they're not going to be helping.
I will be sleeping.
You will be sleeping. Man, I feel bad for your mom.
Janice will probably be up, and then she'll scream at me to get up and help her or whatever.
But you are the oldest. You should set an example for your sisters.
Look.
She doesn't even know what they're doing.
I buy, they fly. Okay, the same thing works. If I buy the Thanksgiving meal, they will cook it.
So you buy the meal.
No.
That's why it's called Thanksgiving. Thanks for giving me food.
Well, come on, man.
Well, no, I actually...
Listen, Thanksgiving dinner will not be good if your mom does not cook. But, don't you think you guys should at least help?
No, I actually do. We help with the sides. I help with the sides because we're doing American food.
So let me guess. You do the corn where you pop open the can.
No, I actually plan on doing like actual mashed potatoes tomorrow and gravy.
You're going to actually make the mashed potatoes from scratch?
Mm-hmm. Oh, we just boil it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know how to make mashed potatoes.
Boil it, mash it, salt, pepper, butter, milk, whisk it, boom, mashed potatoes.
That's why it's so bad for you, all that butter.
Mm-hmm. The recipe I want to make, I can't make. Well, it's really bad for you. Basically, it is 1 pound of butter, 1 pound for every 3 pounds of potatoes. Dang. So I want to make that, but I can't because it will clog my entire family's arteries, and like we already have enough health problems that it is.
Daryl, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I don't have any plans. If I'm able to get off early, we might meet the rest of my family at a Korean restaurant. There's some years that we try to have a Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah. But my sister is currently living in England. So I'm not sure if it's really worth all that trouble trying to get together a whole meal just for the 3 of us.
Well, you guys are family, man. What are you talking about? So what you're saying is your sister is the better one, and you're not worth having dinner with your family?
I wouldn't be able to help my mother cook. I'm going to be working.
Yeah.
So for my mom to prepare a whole meal by herself, just for the
3 of you.
I'd be fine with it. I'd have leftovers for like an entire year.
Just make steaks.
Yeah, man. Well, Actually, I'll be here all day tomorrow, so I won't really be able to spend it with family. I'll probably just give them a call and say Happy Thanksgiving. Sad story.
What about your wife?
My wife will.
She's gonna be here too, right? Tomorrow.
Yeah, she'll probably be here too. She works for the radio station as well. She has her own show. I'll plug in my wife's show Monday through Wednesdays. She has her own show from 7 to 9. But she's always doing stuff. Right now, she's also in a band. They're working some stuff out. So she came home at 5:30 the other. I know this has nothing to do with Thanksgiving, but she came home 5:30 in the morning the other day. After doing her show, which ends at 9, then she went to a studio to work on a song and came home at 5:30 in the morning. That's just crazy. So,
Yeah, Janice actually came home pretty late that day too. I think I know what day you're talking about.
oh, really? Yeah, everyone came home late that day.
Well, my mom was like complaining. She was like, "What is taking so long?" And I told her, I was like, "You do realize recording is not 30 minutes because
Yeah,
I
no.
will spend about 12 hours there at
Yeah.
that studio in that room."
It's
Sleep.
It's crazy, and you never do it in one take. There's no
No.
way. So all that to say, I hardly see my wife these days. So Thanksgiving we'll probably be spending it apart, maybe together at work here a little bit. But let's take a break and let's come back. We're gonna listen to GD and Taeyang. Good boy.
Put your hands in the air. How you feeling out there? We gon' party over here, 모두 같이 sing it. Let me hear you say la 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 la. I am a good boy. Set it up. Cut the music up. 2015. Yeah. Set it up. It's good to be back. I am a good. Hey, hey ladies. You feel me? Hey, hey babies. Hey, everybody. I am a good boy. 어딜 가나 지르사. 여자들은 날 보면 눈에 불이 켜. 낮엔 only hamster. 밤에 사랑을 나누던 gangster. 다정다감한 눈빛 자연스러운 스킨십 너 눈칠 흠칫 할까 네가 뭘 원하는지 말 안 해도 돼 굳이 눈치 다 알아 보기와는 다르게 I don't play 널 갖고 장난 안 해 사람들은 말해 나 같은 남자를 조심하라고 너무 믿지 말라고 난 말할 뻔하다고 What you know about me 네가 날 아냐고 I am a good boy. Set it up. Set it up. I am a good. Set it up. Set it up. I am a good. Everyday fashion 옷차림 내 반전되는 심한 나가림 나만 살짝 짙는 눈웃음 매주 위 사람들 알아 지금 But I don't really care and I don't need that 난 너만 있으면 돼 내게 기대 이게 게임이라면 yes I'm a player And you could be my coach Love affair 보기와는 다르게 I don't play 널 갖고 장난 안 해 사람들은 말해 나 같은 남자를 조심하라고 너무 믿지 말라고 난 말할 뻔하다고 What you know about me 네가 날 아냐고 I am a good boy.
So if you've been watching the news recently, and if you have not been living under a rock, I think we all have an opinion or have seen the news on Ferguson. Have you guys? We all know what we're talking about, right?
Have an opinion.
Have an opinion.
I got more than just an opinion.
Yeah, a lot of on Facebook, I see friends that are really good friends, but this topic has brought friends against friends, and I've seen some heated debates online, and wherever I go, just walking down the street, I hear people talking to one another, and there's a lot of differences in opinion. But if just to break it down, there's Officer Darren Wilson who shot Michael Brown. Officer Darren Wilson is white. Michael Brown was black. And yesterday, they decided not to pursue anything against Officer Darren Wilson, and they're not going to indict him. And it set off just protest everywhere, especially in Ferguson, and they were burning cars and looting stores and setting stores on fire.
Tell me if any one of those people actually care about Michael Brown.
You know,
because I guarantee you 100% they don't.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and I think this is the biggest debate, is people don't condone, outside of Ferguson, you hear a lot of people, they don't condone what the African American community in Ferguson are doing by looting and burning. Nobody is really condoning that. People are asking for peace, and they're saying that's not the right thing to do. And I think we all agree that setting things on fire and looting. I mean, it really does not make you look good. I mean, you're asking for justice, and yet you're doing an injustice to so many different people.
I mean, not only are they setting things on fire and looting for quote unquote Michael Brown, they're looting random stores like hair salons. What?
Yeah. It's what's sad is a lot of the store owners, there are a few that are African American, and their stores were looted, and they were, their stores were broken into, and their shops were broken into, and it's such a sad incident. One of the biggest things coming out was one of the reasons they decided not to indict Officer Darren Wilson was because of some of the testimonies and some of the proof. So what happened was apparently one of the biggest things they looked at was the blood splatter. So there's about, I think they said there were about 20 to 21 feet between two blood splatters on the ground. And if you look at the report that Officer Darren Wilson had gave, he said that there was a struggle in the car. A couple of shots went off. Michael Brown started running off. He shot him once. Michael Brown turned around, got upset, and advanced towards Darren Wilson, Officer Wilson. Officer Wilson then unloaded his gun and took down Michael Brown. Now, what people are saying, some of the witnesses in Ferguson were saying Michael Brown never advanced toward the officer, and he had his hands up in surrender. Darren Officer Wilson was saying that was never the case. He advanced towards me. I feared for my life, and I shot, and I killed him. And he says he's sorry, but he's not. He doesn't regret what happened because what he did, what he was taught. Now, because because of the distances between the two blood splatters, about 20 to 21 feet, it shows that Michael Brown did make an advancement towards the officer. And that was one of the biggest things when the jury looked at, and they just could not find enough evidence to say that Darren Wilson, Officer Wilson, did something wrong. And of course, the African American community feels wronged. They believe that there is something bigger going on. But Daryl, what have you been keeping up with this whole Ferguson deal?
I kept up with everything up until about yesterday or today. I didn't hear about all the looting and the rioting.
Mm-hmm.
I've been stuck at work. And not to take anything away from the story that we had, and not to, make too light of the situation, but I heard in the beginning they wouldn't release the officer's name, Darren Wilson.
Right.
And when they finally did, I saw this news story about another police officer. He's actually with the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department.
Yeah.
I had been with the department for 18 years. Completely different guy.
Same name?
He was getting death threats. People were posting all this stuff on his Facebook page. Turns out he's African American. He's a completely different guy, and he's actually the president of the Ethical Society of Police.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's I don't think anybody feels good about what happened. Michael Brown also today on CNN I've been watching. He robbed a store. I believe it was the same day.
Have you seen how big he was?
He was big, and he also the store owner tried to stop him.
Have you seen the pictures?
Yeah, I've seen the video.
They say he was gentle or what. This guy is towering over the store owner and like lifting him by the shirt, or he's grabbing him by the shirt.
Yeah, he pushes him off. You can't really tell if it's the neck or the shoulder, but the store owner tries to stop him, pushes him out of the way, and he goes up to the store owner and looks down upon him, and you can't hear him, but you can see what's going on. He's intimidating the store owner, telling him, I'm going to take this, you're not going to stop me. And what happened was later on, he was walking down the street, in the middle of the street. That's when the officer came and tried to get him off the street, and also realized that he looks like someone that they described that just stole from the store. So a lot of I understand people make bad choices. Just because they steal doesn't mean they're bad, but it also does not make them look good. And for people, Michael Brown's parents were saying that by saying that he stole from the store and stuff, they're attacking his character. Well, no, that's what happened. There's video proof of that happening.
let me ask you guys a question. I'm not sure if you guys know the answer, but because I missed the whole rioting and looting part, I mean, this is a case that's been going on for a while now, and
couple of months.
There have been plenty of nights where there were protests, and there were riot police out there. Mm-hmm. Didn't they prepare for something like this? Like, how did they not?
No,
prevent
they
this?
have been. They have been preparing
so
for it.
how weren't they able to prevent this from happening?
Well, here's the deal. You don't know what the result is going to be, right? You don't know.
Right, but I heard earlier this year they were issuing curfews. So I mean,
but here's the thing: you have to be very careful because, let's say you come out and people want to riot. People are going to protest. You can't stop them from protesting, right? You can't. I mean, they want to come out and they want to have a sign and say we disagree with the decision. There's no way you can tell them, well, you're not allowed to do that.
Couldn't you enforce a curfew, like, for example, saying, hey, for your own safety, for your own protection, anyone who's out past a certain hour, you're going to be ticketed, you're going to be arrested. I mean, I thought that's what they had been doing.
Cared.
Well, here's what they tried to. That's what they tried to do earlier. But you have to understand, the verdict came out at night, so they can't issue a curfew before the verdict even comes out. And as soon as it came out, people just started looting. They started burning cars, and so it's. Before it starts, you can't really show the people, hey, we're here to fight you. You can't do that. You're trying to create an atmosphere of peace as much as you can. Unfortunately, the people of Ferguson are not, I don't want to say they're not people of peace, but they went, I understand their frustration, but they let that boil over, and their actions, as the whole world is watching, I think can see that their actions are... I think everybody disagrees with their actions, and it's not the right way to act. Going beyond what was right, what was wrong, what actually happened, it's not over. They're still going to investigate. I believe the White House is going to investigate this. They're not going to let this go. We're going to continue seeing what happened. But what is happening in Ferguson, I don't put it on the government. I don't put it on the officers. I put it on the people of Ferguson.
They try to bring it to Dallas, right? The protest.
Yeah, there were protests all over.
No.
Cities.
They tried to walk on I-35.
No, they did.
They did. They blocked it off.
So they said that there was just as many cops as there were protesters.
This
and
was
they just
last night?
Last night.
Yeah.
Because I was coming back from Austin.
Please
and for
do not bring it into Dallas.
20 miles, the cars were just
that's
backed
exactly
up.
what
that's
happened. They
what
were
was going on.
walking.
I was like, what is going on?
So finally, the
Yeah.
protesters gave up and they went home. There were 6 of them that decided not to go home, and they got arrested.
Yeah. It's
Please do not bring it to Dallas.
not only Dallas, but several cities. People are protesting now. There are a lot of people that were protesting who did it the right way.
Right.
They-
Peaceful.
Very peaceful. But in Ferguson, You brought up the looting. Just the fact that you're looting and stealing stuff from different stores does not. It shows you
What kind of protest is that?
that
It
you're
makes
taking.
no sense.
Yeah, you're taking advantage
of the
actually,
situation.
and you're taking advantage of Michael Brown.
Right. They don't care.
You're using
oh my
you're using his name to steal stuff and smash
Exactly.
windows and
Did you see the pictures of the cop cars that what they
yeah,
did?
they burned. And you know what really sucked was the store owner, the store where Michael Brown stole from. They looted his store as well.
There was I felt so bad.
Yeah.
There was a picture of him just like standing there,
So
and he looks defeated. There's
dejected.
stuff everywhere behind him, and you can't feel anything but really bad for him.
And he didn't do anything to deserve that.
I
There's
think most store owners would try to do the same. Stop people from stealing from you. You know,
Of course.
It's just,
Of course.
it just sucks that it ended up the way it did
Yeah.
in Michael Brown's case.
And I think what's so frustrating is that you do see some sort of proof that the officer isn't completely lying. Now, I can't say that he's 100% telling the truth, of course. I'm sure he's trying to protect himself as well. But there are some proof of him making advancement towards the officer. There's not a single photo. You know what? You know what amazes me is these days people have photos and videos of everything.
Yep.
Yet people, for some reason, there's so many witnesses that saw Michael Brown with his hand up, yet nobody has a photo or a video of it. That makes me wonder if he actually really did.
Well, how much of this do you think has to do with, the media just putting a spin on it, turning it into a good story?
There
Like,
actually might be.
I mean, this isn't everyday type of thing, and not to say that we shouldn't care, but there are criminals who are shot and killed, or people that are shot and killed by police officers.
Sure.
Seems like every day these days. But just it being in a community that's predominantly black,
Right.
and the police force being majority white,
Right.
the media could have just taken it and been like, this is the makings of a great
Yep.
story, and just like ran with it.
I completely agree, man. Media has a lot to do with how people think, how people react. And if you continue to show it and continue to rile people up, that's what will happen.
Right. Taking myself, for example, when I first saw this story, I was like, oh, wow, this is an innocent person. He had his hands up.
Right.
This is an outrage.
Right.
But then now, as more information is
Sure.
coming out, my opinion is changing, and I just didn't have all the information. And even right now, I really don't know what to think.
Yeah. I completely agree. Whenever you have witnesses who come and say, "Oh, he had his hands up," you listen to those witnesses. But as time passes and as you start getting more information,
The story starts to change.
yeah, story starts to change. There's a lady today. She was one of the witnesses, and they were interviewing her on CNN, and she was talking about how she was like, he had his hands up. He had his hands up. Towards the end of the conversation, and she wasn't really adamant about him having her hands up. She was saying, well, even if he didn't have his hands up, officer should have known that he didn't have a weapon. Well, and he was like, well, that's different than saying my hands are up. She was saying, well, he showed his hands, and I'm not 100% if it was him surrendering, but the officer should have known he didn't have a weapon. That completely changes the whole story from he was surrendering to, oh, well, officer should have known.
But that's when I come back to asking you guys if you've seen how big this guy was, this kid. Because okay, I know I'm a tiny little Asian girl, but if anyone of his stature was quote unquote charging at me, I wouldn't
Right.
know what to do.
Right.
I would be
Right.
scared out of my mind.
Yeah.
So that could have been something. There's just, I don't know. There's a lot of factors.
So what about the family said that they want all the policemen to wear the cameras on their bodies now?
Yeah.
So do you guys think that is something that should happen?
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I completely agree. There was a story right after the whole Michael Brown incident. There was a story of he was a firefighter, and he was walking into his station late at night with his son. Officer came. Now, this is what he said. He came on the news and said that there was racial profiling, that he was mean to him and the son, and just accused this white officer, right? Well, guess what? This white officer actually had a camera on his uniform, and actually disproved what that black firefighter had said. He was he was nice. He apologized for the whole thing. His son was scared, but he said, "Hey, I'm sorry about that." He was completely nice and actually disproved what the black firefighter had said. So I completely agree. We need that.
Not to go off subject, but I'm glad you brought that up, Jeannie, because I actually feel like everybody should have dash cameras on their cars, so that when there's an accident, there's
Yeah.
irrefutable evidence.
Yeah.
I heard like over in Russia, it's mandatory. Everybody has to have a dash cam.
Korea.
Black boxes.
A few
Yeah.
weeks ago, I got hit by an 18-wheeler. He like smushed me and
That's
like
scary.
pretty much got me in a corner and like smushed the side
That's
of my car.
literally like my biggest
And then he
fear
took off.
on the road.
He took off. I had to chase him down, and by the time the cops showed up, it was just hearsay. He said this, you said this, and
That's literally my
they couldn't
biggest fear on
assign
the
any
road
blame.
is getting squished by an 18-wheeler. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah. Well, it's what's happening in Ferguson is very sad. It's not over. There's still stuff happening today, but I think as time continues, I think the truth will come out. But if you guys are people that pray for the people in Ferguson, and let's send out good thoughts to them. Let's take a break and come back.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. Tonight's the night. Let's live it up. I got my money. Let's spin it up. Go out and smash it. Like oh my god. Jump out that sofa. Let's kick it off.
I know that we'll have a ball if we get down and go out and just lose it all. I feel stressed out, I wanna let it go. Let's go way out, spaced out, and losing all control.
Fill up my cup. Mazel tov. Look at her dancing. Just take it off. Let's paint the town. We'll shut it down. Let's burn the roof.
And then we'll do it again.
Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, and do it, and do it. Let's live it up and do it, and do it, and do it, do it, do it. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Cause I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. I feel tonight's the night. Hey, let's live it up.
Let's live it up.
I got my money. Hey, let's spin it up. Let's spin it up. Go out and smash it.
Smash it.
Like oh my god.
Like oh my god.
Jump out that sofa. Come on. Let's kick it off. Fill up my cup.
Drink.
Mazel tov. Look at her dancing.
Move it, move
Just
it.
take it off. Let's paint the town.
Paint the town.
We'll shut it down.
Shut it down.
Let's burn the roof.
And then we'll do it again.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And do it. And do it. Let's live it up and do it. and do it, and do it, do it, do it. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, do it, do it, do it. Here we come, here we go. We gotta rock, 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 rock. Easy come, easy go. Now we on top. Feel the shot, body rock, rockin', don't stop. Round and round, up and down, around the clock. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Saturday to Sunday. Get with us, you know what we say. Party every day, party every day, and I'm feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night.
Did y'all watch? Do you guys know? You guys have seen The Wizard of Oz, right?
Yes, of course.
Daryl, Will,
Classic.
Yes, I have.
Wizard of Oz.
Did they ever make a new one, or is there only one?
I think they made a new. I think they made a new
oh,
one.
they
I'm
made
not
a James
sure.
Franco one called
Did
Really?
they?
Oz or something. Right?
Is it like a show or a movie?
Movie.
Oh. I don't know.
Must have been
Eh.
twisted.
I didn't really like Wizard of Oz.
Oh,
There's creepy.
Something is wrong with
the
you.
yellow brick
It was
road.
creepy.
Something is wrong
The
with
scarecrow looked creepy. The Tin Man looked creepy. The little monkey things were creepy.
you. Something is really
Have
wrong.
you
with
heard
The
that-
the wizard was creepy.
Do y'all know who Pink Floyd is?
Yeah, absolutely.
Pink
He
Floyd?
Pink Floyd. He has this album called Dark Side of the Moon.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
I heard if you play that concurrently, actually I watched it. You play the movie concurrently with the album, it fits it second to second.
That's creepy.
That's cool.
Okay, it is cool. But the Cowardly Lion costume, which is, I don't know what the math is because I'm really bad at math, but this costume, Wizard of Oz, came out in 1939. It went up to auction at Bonham's in New York City on Monday, and it was bought for $3 million.
Holy moly. 3 million.
I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine what they would do. I guess if you're paying that much for it, you're not wearing it.
I hope not.
You probably frame it in some kind of case.
I'd at least try it on if I paid you said $3 million?
You're going to ruin that, man. You can't
3
wear
million.
it.
What if you break it, like the tail falls off?
Well, if you can afford to buy it, you can afford to fix it.
Yeah, that is true.
But you're
Well,
ruining
no,
the
yeah,
value of it.
it's-
I would wear it
not
on
gonna be-
Halloween
Oh my
and make
gosh.
sure I get use out of it.
So
people spill
you're
stuff
going
on
to
you?
throw away $3 million by wearing it.
If you buy a $3 million car, would you drive it?
Of course. That's why.
But cars are meant to be.
Just driving my
Okay.
costume.
Okay, so if you bought a prestige perfect Michael Jordan rookie card and it was in this case, would you take it out?
No.
You can
No,
see
you
the
wouldn't.
you can see the card without touch.
Taking it out.
You
yeah.
can see the
You
costume.
get the use out of it. You see the picture. You can read
No,
the words on the back of
you're
it.
you
not.
need
You're
something
gonna
of more
You're gonna
value.
frame that card and you're gonna make sure nobody comes near it. Because if you want to sell it one day, you're gonna make that money back.
Then they find that dent in
Angela,
the corner.
Jeannie, let me ask you guys a question. If you guys bought the what is it, the red slippers
Oh yeah.
that Dorothy wore, would you
Good
try them on?
I probably would. And you know for sure, 100%, I'd be like, "There's no place like home," like clicking my
yeah.
heels, and then the
I
heel
think that's
breaks. and I
different
start
though than a
crying.
costume.
It's completely different. It's like buying a house, right? Let's say you're buying a $3 million house. Now you say, would you live in it? Of course you would. But
Yeah.
here's the thing: would you do anything to devalue that house?
No.
No, you wouldn't. That costume, if you wear it, what you're doing is you're taking the cost completely down. That's why you'd frame it. I don't even know why we're arguing over some sort of costume, but if you're in the right state of mind, you would not wear it.
If I ever have enough money, I'm going to buy that costume, and you are going to see me wearing it.
Oh, you're going to be paying
That's
over
fine.
$3 million.
That's your money. It's your money. That's fine.
Well, they didn't mention who, but someone did pay $3 million for this costume,
That's
and
crazy.
I doubt they're going to wear it.
It has to be a nerd.
Yeah.
No offense.
Or a collector. I guess people
Most collectors are nerds.
collect movie props.
Are nerds.
Wait,
Most of them are
no.
nerds.
So the costume itself, I mean, because didn't the actor have like face paint on and stuff too? So like,
Yes.
how much of the costume is actually?
Apparently,
probably-
$3 million.
It's probably neck to toes, neck to feet, and maybe a hood. Maybe I don't really remember what
That's a good
the
question.
Cowardly Lion
I
looked
don't know.
like. Anyway, so that was interesting to see that you would wear a $3 million costume. My next subject is, you guys know who Roseanne is? By the way, there are so many people that hate that show, but Dave and I actually love it. And it was really weird to find out that someone else actually liked Roseanne. It's a funny show.
I liked it too.
So Roseanne, 62-year-old actress, Roseanne, one of the best comedy sitcom show, in my opinion, hands down, for being of its generation. She's super sarcastic, really funny. But this time she kind of, I guess, almost started a war with Bill Cosby and his allegations.
Oh.
She posted a picture of herself. Her face was super swollen, and she tweeted it saying that she got into a tussle with Bill Cosby, which right now is a sensitive time for him since people are accusing him of all these like rape and, you know, whatever allegations. And then she took it down real quick and was like, just kidding, it was a chemical peel because I want to look younger.
Dang, that sucks.
But she deleted it real quick.
Now, I wonder who had the more popular show, because weren't both shows on around the same time?
There's no way you could compare Roseanne
Yeah,
to Bill
you can't
Cosby,
compare the
Exactly.
two.
So maybe she's just jealous. Maybe she's just
You
still
know, I
feeling
actually-
bitter that Cosby had a better show.
Maybe she's just trying to stay relevant.
No, she's still relevant, though. She's on Last Comic Standing.
Oh, is she?
She's actually like the
yeah.
feature comic.
She's
judge.
funny. Is she
Oh,
not
really?
funny? She's
She's funny.
hilarious.
Yeah.
She is funny, but I didn't really like her show that much because
It was
I mean,
different. Yeah, I didn't really like it.
I just her voice.
Yeah, I
couldn't-
can agree
Yeah.
with
It
that.
got really old, and then not to sound shallow or anything, but a lot of times you watch shows for like the attractive.
Nobody
actors.
was
Oh my
attractive.
gosh.
And there wasn't a single
He's so
attractive-
shallow. You're shallow, man. That's so
Did
wrong.
you notice Did you watch it?
Yeah, I used to watch it.
So one of the things that I hate most that shows do is when they have a set amount of actors for a family and they replace one with a different actor.
Oh yeah.
They
Fresh,
did that with
Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
Yes,
did
the
that.
mom.
The
but that's
Aunt-
because of Will Smith.
and
He's the
Vivian.
reason.
Yeah, they didn't get along.
Okay, so and I hate that. You're like, the next season comes in and they're like, oh, hey, Aunt Vivian, and you're like,
What?
You.
What?
Did you guys ever grow up watching Happy Days?
Oh
I
yeah.
watched- yeah.
Okay, so there was actually an older brother that was on the show like the first couple seasons, and
I
then
don't-
one day,
don't remember.
one day he got like shipped off to Vietnam or something, and
Never
never
came
brought
back?
him back. Never said another thing.
No, there are a lot of shows like that where there are certain characters they never tell you what happened and they just kind of disappear.
Or the dog from the Brady Bunch.
What?
They had a dog
That never
and then
appeared.
just disappeared.
Oh.
Interesting.
I actually
I remember
watched
the dog.
Charmed did that. They killed off the oldest sister, Shannon Doherty.
Yeah.
She died in the episode, but it was because she was like too much of a diva and drama queen in real life, and they just couldn't handle her anymore, so
Yeah.
they killed her off.
Oh,
I remember
dang.
that too.
Yep.
Right.
But what I actually do like is when they come back and they make a joke out of it. They're like, look at, Becky, she went off for 3 months and now we don't even recognize her. And I love stuff like that.
They did that to Charlie Sheen. After
yeah.
2.5 Men, they would
Yeah.
always make these references.
Yeah.
But they had an excuse for that, or like a storyline, like he got hit by a train or something.
Well, all of this Roseanne stuff, she was making all these, accusations against Bill Cosby. Guess what? This lady named Louisa Moritz, and I'm really sorry if I'm supposed to know who she is, but I don't know who she is. She is trying to file a lawsuit against Cosby. And what else she's trying to do is group up all the other women that claim to be victims, and they're trying to make a class action lawsuit against him.
Man, that sucks.
So,
It looks like a lot of people are coming out these days and accusing him.
yes, but there was two problems they said with her wanting to file this. One of them was she didn't mention anything to TMZ about it until last week.
Oh.
About her mishappenings or misfortune or whatever. And her excuse is she blocked it out and it only became vivid after various other women became stepping forward within the last 2 weeks, which honestly, how do you block something like that out? If
Yeah,
something like
right.
that happened, you don't block it out. I guess
Yeah.
you could, but I think they're all in it for the money.
It's tough.
I mean, it's been a long time, so I
Yeah.
mean, like, some of the memories I have, I try to block them out too.
Well, it has been a long time. So the other thing is these ladies are not allowed. It has to have happened within a year. So their memory, if it's beyond I think a year, whatever they say doesn't count in some sort of fashion or way. But poor Bill Cosby.
Better start selling some Jell-O.
I was a huge fan. I was a huge fan of Bill Cosby, but it definitely sucks to hear about all of these allegations right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess everyone has their secrets or non-secrets,
Right.
so I guess I don't really care too much whether they are true or not. I still liked him. And even though I don't know, I guess I liked him as the actor, if that makes sense. So I liked his character.
Same here.
So that, for some reason, I have a really big problem with associating actors with the characters that they portray. So if I see Jennifer Lawrence, I think of her, well, she's a bad example because I think she's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'd be best friends. I'm telling you, Jennifer Lawrence, you hear this?
And to end with entertainment, it's not so much entertainment, but last week we went to 2 p.m. concert.
Yep.
And on Friday, there was a news article that came out about the concert. And it came out saying that there were 1,800 people that showed up to the concert, and they used a photo of people walking in to the concert hall.
So not at 7:30, but around 6:30,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right. When people first came in. Now, here was my issue with this article from a certain Korean newspaper here, and they're one of the biggest, probably the biggest newspaper here in Dallas. As a reporter, I'm a reporter myself for Dallas Korean Radio. As a reporter, when you take a photo, you use a photo for an article that supports your article. Now, to take a picture of a 2 p.m. concert and not have 2 p.m. in the picture and have people walking in, finding their seats, you wonder what their main objective of having that article was, right? What was your main objective? And also to say that a mere 1,800 people showed up to this concert, I think was a disservice to everyone who was a part of it, especially even us. We were backstage, and though we didn't really do much, we saw over 100 people work to make this concert happen. And to say and to have a report like that from a well-known Korean newspaper, I think is pathetic, and I think it does a disservice, and it makes you wonder about all the other articles they wrote. We got in touch, and just from the agency that we know that was selling these tickets, just from them, it was over 3,000 tickets. Just from them, it was over 3,000 tickets. So for them to say 1,800, and I was pretty furious, and I put it up on my Facebook, and there was somebody from that worked for them that was commenting, and it got a little childish. But it was so wrong, and I don't think a newspaper should ever do something that low. To say that you're professional and to do something so unprofessional, it makes you lose respect for them and what some of the things they're doing. So it was very sad to see, and I really hope that it doesn't happen again. Let's take a break. Let's come back. We're going to listen to Old School Love.
Give me that old school love right now. You know when I hold you, you won't be alone. As long as I'm here, as long as you love me. Give me that old school love right now. As long as I'm here, as long as you love me. Give me that old school love right now. Whoa. Give me that late 80s, early 90s, old school. Feeling like my second album, so cool. Chirac summer looking so cruel. Looked shorty in the eye, told me it was no rules. Went to speak but was like never mind. Let my mind just sneak back to a better time when I was his age. And if he's ever mine, thinking he would only think back to this and never find better times to think back to when it comes. And he's older in the presence of somebody young, telling him the same things that he told me, and he reacts the same way as that OG. But it's old school, it's like 03, and it's old man, it's my old me. Takes a long time to happen so fast, to realize that your future is somebody else's past. What's up? As long as you love me,
Analog, black vinyl spinning, sounding so good. Top down, can't be a classic if it's no wood. If you don't know what, then your new school. Floor model is the foundation for your YouTubes. Model flows off of Fat Boys and Juice Crews. Melly Mel's, iced teas, and the two cools. Adam O.D. and the double L. Had to walk cause it's hard to run in those unbuckled shells. One microphone and a couple 12s. 6 drum sounds and a couple bells. Is all you had to make a couple rails. And that's a track. And if you want it, you had to make it like that. Now what's one turtle to a couple snails? Takes a long time to happen so fast. And realize your future is somebody else's past. What's up? Chirac summer looking so cruel. How can I reel a reel when it's Pro 2? I can't dig it at all because it's no tube. Fire when you speak but ain't no warmth in your vocals. Might have been a better rhyme than just never mind. If it's better with time than thinking line that you gonna be your nicest round your midlife crisis. If your life like Christ, live your midlife like it's Christ-like. I ain't psychic, I know it's all a cycle, and everybody bike it. And France is enormous, your lance with endorsements, but you might need a hand to enhance your performance. Consider this a kilogram of encouragement. Teach you how to sneak it past the enforcement. And when you get it through in a manner so cool, remember to give a little nod to the old school. Give me that old school love right now. What's up? I'm leaving it all up to you, darling. Giving you everything you want. And give me that old school love right now. You know when I hold you, you won't be alone. As long as I'm here, as long as you love me. Give me that old school love right now. As long as I'm here.
All right, it's time for Fresh Off the Stupid. We got a new signal music. What do you guys think of that one?
It's funny.
I honestly thought we were coming into sports.
Really?
Because that one time.
Oh, okay. No. We are coming into Fresh Off the Stupid. And to introduce our 4 topics of the week, we have the awesome Jeannie Shen. You like that little intro?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Last name.
So, the first story is a man confesses to arson on live TV. So, a building was set on fire, so news reporters were on the scene. A man who goes by Carlos walks over to the reporter and calmly says, Me, I set it on fire. I just poured gasoline on the floor, set it on fire, and went and bought a drink and came back.
Wait. So, the guy set the place on fire.
Yes.
He goes, gets a drink, and comes back.
Yes.
I guess to watch his artwork.
And then he confesses to who?
To the reporter. Like, he walks up to the reporter and starts talking, and then he confesses.
Dang.
So the reporter asks, why did you do it? So he replies, just so you could get here, for your attention. And after the interview, he walks over to the policemen and say to them, I set it on fire. And then the police responds, you set it on fire? And he looks over to his partner stunned, like, did I really hear that? And then they escort him away.
I think I saw this video, and it's the one where he's wearing a hoodie or something.
Yeah.
He's wearing a hoodie, and then the officer, I think the look on his face was priceless. Yeah. He just had this, he goes, wait, you set this place on fire? He does like this, looks at his partner, looks over back at him. He's like, what an idiot. Oh, why? Does it say why he set the place on fire?
So Yeah, he says that he called police often because he claims that the place is deplorable, has deplorable living conditions, and so he's called the police several times to come to the house, and the neighbor says the police come often, so he set it on fire to get attention so that the media and the police would finally pay attention to him.
So,
But he still got arrested for
now-
arson, right?
Yeah,
Because that's
And-
not
and now he has no place to live.
Now
Well,
he gets
no.
to live in even worse
In a jail
deplorable
cell.
living
Yeah.
conditions.
But is it? I mean, he gets free food, free shelter. He doesn't have to worry where he's gonna be. I mean, I guess it's not.
I think it
the best
depends on
place, but-
what jail.
Jeannie, are you advocating that all of us should
No, I'm
Yeah.
not.
set buildings on
No,
fire?
you know the Coppell jail.
Food.
No, Coppell jail will ask you what you want from McDonald's for breakfast.
What?
Not my personal experience, but my friends, a lot of my
From
friends.
McDonald's?
Yeah, like if they get like a lot of my friends have been arrested for whatever, and the cops will ask them in the morning.
So what did you get arrested for?
I don't want to talk about it.
My friend said Frisco jail is the same way too.
They ask you what you want from
Yeah,
McDonald's?
but
For
my friends also
breakfast.
said Plano they just give you a honey bun.
Oh.
I mean, it's better than them like slopping like sludge on the floor.
I mean, how bad would it have to be for you to burn it down that you would want to go live in prison?
Yeah, that is
'Cause he
actually
was
pretty bad.
really calm in the video.
That is
So-
pretty bad.
But anyway, so the next story is 2 are charged with terroristic threatening over dog poop. So 2 Maui residents, Aaron and Candace, were upset at finding dog poop in their yard and claimed that their neighbor put the poo in their yard. So they allegedly approached their neighbor wielding golf clubs and yelling obscenities. The dog owner was reportedly checking out the damage done to her car when Candace got into the car and then followed her into her house while further threatening to harm her. So she's charged with first-degree terroristic threatening as well as first-degree burglary and first-degree unauthorized entry to a vehicle, which are both felonies.
Okay, I actually have a story about it. It's serious though.
Oh.
Like it's a serious story. So, in Garland, this was oh my gosh, I think it was about a year ago or so. There is somebody that my sisters know or my parents know. This grandpa got charged with murder over dog, and the news said it was over dog poo, quote unquote. But I mean, he didn't speak very. It was a Korean grandpa, and he didn't speak very good English, and it had nothing to do with dog poo. Well, I guess it kind of did. It set him off,
That's what set him off, right?
right?
yeah.
But that's what the news said it was, like dog poop prompts murder. But he did go and kill the guy.
Yeah, he went up and.
Do you know
shot
who-
him.
do you know who I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
now
I've
he's
heard
in
about
jail.
it too.
완전 개판이어서.
Thank you. Okay,
Korean
so
word.
Next one is Jose Navarro Jr. allegedly faked 911 call to avoid a traffic ticket. So he calls 911 and falsely reports hearing 8 gunshots and that a man had been shot a few blocks away from where the police had stopped him. So he was hoping that the officers would who pulled him over would leave to respond to the more serious 911 call, but he was wrong. So officers drove to the scene only to discover it was false, and he was arrested on felony charge for 911 call and was also cited for illegal transportation of an open alcohol container, speeding, no seatbelt, driving without lights, and improper lane usage.
Oh my god.
So that's pretty bad. And the last one is Alyssa Ferraro allegedly assaulted her boyfriend over a Monopoly game. Yeah, so in New Hampshire, they got a call about a domestic disturbance call, and Ferraro got into an argument with her boyfriend over the game Monopoly and then slapped him in the face. So she went straight to jail.
Dang.
Wait,
Okay,
he called
let's-
Yeah, he called the cops on her for slapping him.
what?
Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
Gotta protect your property.
All right, let's vote real quick. We gotta go. We're running behind, but let's take a vote real quick and choose our fresh off the stupid of the week. Let's go with Jeannie.
I'm going to say the guy who faked 911 called, because that's just dumb.
That is pretty dumb. Daryl,
Fire guy.
fire guy.
I'm with Jeannie.
I was actually gonna go with fire guy.
2v2.
So we've got a 2-on-2. We're gonna have to. Okay. Well, we'll just keep it a tie this week. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We're going to go old school. We're going to listen to H.O.T. Candy.
너에게 걷어보는 나를 보았어 널 떠날 거야 널 떠날 거야
하지만 아직까지 사랑하는 걸 그래 그렇지만 내 맘속에 너를 잊어갈 거야 머리 위로 비친 내 하늘 바라보며 널 향한 마음은 이제는 굳혔지만 웬일인지 내게 다가갈수록 우린 같은 하늘 아래 서 있었지 단지 널 사랑해 이렇게 말했지 이젠 또 준비했던 많은 말을 이루한 채 언제나 네 옆에 있을게 이렇게 약속을 하겠어 저 하늘을 바라보며
Wine, dine up on the rubber double line. God is a little bit, but you have a friend of mine. Bubble in a frock, boom shaka top.
내게 하고 열려 있어 그래 그래 너는 내 앞에 서 있고 그래 다른 연인들이 키스를 해 하지만 항상 너의 뒤에 있어야만 해 이제 그만해 나도 남자인데 내 마음 너무 알고 있는 거 알아 그래 이제 나도 지쳐서 하늘만 바라볼 수밖에
햇살에 일어나 보니 너무나 눈부셔 모든 게 다 변한 거야 널 향한 마음도 그렇지만 널 사랑하는 게 아니야 이제는 나를 변화시킬 테니까 머리 위로 비친 내 하늘 바라보며 널 향한 마음을 이제는 굳혔지만 웬일인지 내게 다가갈수록 우린 같은 하늘 아래 서 있었지 단지 널 사랑해 이렇게 말했지 이제 또 준비했던 많은 말을 이루한 채 언제나 네 옆에 있을게 이렇게 약속을 하겠어 저 하늘을 바라보며 한 번 더 말했지 이제 또
또 많은 말을 이루한 채 다시 널
많은
사랑한다고
말을 이루한
그랬지
채 언제나 네 옆에 있을게 다시 너 혼자 아냐 너의 곁에 내가 있잖아
There's so much history behind each culture, and that holds true for the Asian American communities here in America. The stories, the memories, family, and all the sacrifices that were made make up who we are. They help form our identities as we all try to make our way through life. Asia Times Square in Grand Prairie believes in preserving and proudly promoting our different Asian cultures with one another and the rest of the world. Here, in one place, you can experience the vibrant and unique cultures without having to travel all over the city. At Asia Times Square, the Asian communities, though very different, come together as one voice and as one family. Asia Times Square is located in Grand Prairie on 2625 West Pioneer Parkway.